So, welcome everybody, my dear audience, to what is going to be episode 8 of the Anatomy Podcast. If y'all are new, basically what we do is we take about an hour out of my day and fellow musicians' days. We talk about their story as musicians, and then we talk about how the band they participate, they contribute to, came to be. All that fun stuff. So, today is going to be Desolate Blight from Texas, if I'm remembering this correctly. So basically, we're going to be sitting down with the entirety of the band. This is another 3-piece band. They're actually getting ready to go on tour with Crafting the Conspiracy, which should be really cool. And they released an album this last October that was pretty freaking awesome. So, to say the least, gentlemen, all of you, introduce yourselves as people and tell me a bit about yourselves before we jump into like the real session and just like get introduced to how you became musicians.
Dope. So we'll start on the left. We have nicknames, by the way. So
Fuck yeah, let's do it.
We'll introduce by like the real name and then the nickname because it just works out better. But
yeah, definitely.
I'm so messed up.
All good, man.
My name's Noel. I feel like my strengths are I'm good in the work environment. I'm pretty good with the team. I feel like if you hired me, you'd be making a pretty good decision. I feel like I'd be pretty good for this company.
uses this as an interview.
Is this the wrong interview?
Yeah, you bet.
Shameless plug. There we go. But
I have 20 minutes of work experience.
Please hire me. I need a job.
I need a job so bad. You know?
I'm crawling for money, man. Help.
Yeah.
But no,
All right.
Well, to say the least, we got Noel right off the bat. Decent work experience. He's a decently professional. Anything else we should know about you?
I like Guitar Hero.
I can only
They
hope
play
so.
guitar and they play the lead guitar in the band.
Sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Enough said. All right, well, what is your nickname, I guess?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. It cut out.
Oh, okay, no, you're fine. So, Noel, what is your nickname?
Sock.
Spock? Like Star
Yeah.
Trek?
Nah, sock like
Oh,
these.
it's because you wear them all the time, or?
Actually, the contrary. I forget to wear socks a lot.
Nice. So just like, hey,
It was just-
socks.
It was their gamer tag on Xbox, and I thought it was a good nickname, so I started calling them that.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, yeah, I think that about wraps it up for the individual Noel. Next, right in the middle.
Awesome. So I'm Sky. I play the vocal part of Desolate Blight. I also am pretty fashionable. I wear really cool like hospital socks.
Dude,
Those are
hospital
rad.
socks are comfy, man. Not gonna
Dude,
lie.
they
Yeah.
really are. I have a lot of these from very bad experiences, but they are comfortable as fuck. But yeah, I'm Sky. I mean, other than that, we've been making music for a little while, and I have a lot of tattoos, and I go by they them pronouns. That's pretty much it.
Okay, yeah, that works. How about you?
My name is Arthur, and I just like to look at wood, man. A big circle piece of wood. That's all I do. My existence is a big piece of circled wood.
He's saying he's Morningwood.
Yeah. In other
Nice.
words. Well, morning was straight.
Morningwood's still like
I'm the,
But
I'm
they
the
play-
ultimate.
They play the battery, as you would say, the drums.
Right.
But
the big
but I've
boom,
been-
boom, boom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing drums for 13 years. I started off when I was a youngin, and I knew I just wanted to play death metal.
Right.
I heard a bunch of thrash metal bands back then, and I just fell in love with the drums. You know, the fast paced style. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I used to get so mad, dude, when I would try to do that and I couldn't get it down.
Yeah.
And then I found out about blast beats, and then I just forgot about my existence before that. And then blast beats was just my existence from there on.
Nice.
Art is actually the reason I play music. actually, ironically enough. Yeah, Arthur's the reason why I started making music was because we went to high school together.
He's the reason why I'm in the band.
All right. Well, I think the next question I would be asking is like, are you guys from separate parts of Texas, or are you guys from the same parts of Texas, or same part?
We're all from San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Different kind of size of San Antonio, though.
Yeah, because San Antonio's huge, man.
Right.
Second biggest city.
Yeah, me and Sky are from the south side.
I'm on like the northeast.
Yeah.
Side.
Sock is
Yeah.
like on the outside of like going towards Austin area.
Kind of like by the airport.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So like 30 minutes away from each other.
And to say the least, my mom would be very happy to know that I have, a band from Texas on the podcast, because her whole side of the family is from Texas. Like my great grandmother is a daughter of the Republic of Texas. Like we got so much family over there. So I definitely do love Texas. I love its culture, and I love its independency. I would not be surprised if it annexed itself from the U.S. and everybody's like, okay, yeah, well, I'm just going to Texas now. We're going to be part of the Texas state or whatever, state union. Who knows? But
Fair enough.
to say the least, hell yeah, we got some Texans here on the podcast. We always love that. Plenty of culture, plenty of powerhouse. Literally, there is a subgenre of metal called Texas metal, and then there's Texas death metal, and then there's like all of those Texan subgenres. Like that says something. That says something about like what they've established in the country. But to say the least, jumping into the first half, I would probably be asking, like growing up for all of you individuals, what was the thing, what was the band, what was the person that really got you into music? I know you guys briefly talked about it just now, but I want to go into that, dive into it head first, as much detail as possible, for you guys have about like 20 minutes still to discuss it. But just along in the same order that we did before or whatever, it can be chaotic, who knows. Just go ahead and tell the story of like how you became musicians.
So I would want to say that as far as like musical influences go, I've always wanted to make music. I know we all three have, but I've always wanted to make music since I was a wee lad. I wanted to. I remember I used to play Guitar Hero as a kid, and I wanted to pick up guitar so bad, but I was poor. I was incredibly poor, so I started singing. Because I couldn't afford a guitar. Like I remember I wanted to get a Walmart guitar, and we still couldn't afford that. And I just didn't want to stress my mom out, so I remember I used to sing a lot in middle school. I was in choir. I was in different forms of choir, so I actually do have a decent amount of knowledge as far as singing goes. I was also in band. I used to play the percussion in 7th grade, which is a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, I bounced around from several different schools, and around like 7th grade, I started hanging out a lot with one of my friends who played drums.
Yeah.
And that was when I started experimenting a little bit with just like the different genres. I didn't know how to scream yet, and then it just evolved later down the line. But like band wise, like the Black Dahlia Murder, Slipknot, Linkin Park were heavy influences for me.
Yeah, that's it for me too, man.
Every episode seems to prove that point more and more. They are a very iconic artists and bands in the culture, in the scene, and they've helped a lot of bands grow. So we definitely provide credit to those artists.
I feel like a lot of the like bands that are just coming up now are just they're just like like a lot of people grew up with like Hybrid Theory, being like one of those albums they got. They went to Walmart, got it on the like Sony Discman, played it until it broke.
Yeah.
Just like something that we all collectively like could relate to.
I had a CD that was burned, and it had a Linkin Park. Shout out to my sister. She burned like the CD for me.
Dude, LimeWire and going.
Dude, I was about to say LimeWire. Yeah. In middle school, I stole this PSP. But in middle school, I stole a PSP, right? And I remember I had no games on it, and I tried to like mod games into it, but I couldn't figure that out. So I spent like 3 days on LimeWire getting different genres and shit. And that's actually how I heard Saint Anger. It was in 6th grade, actually.
It's a good album.
Hey, shout out to that snare, though.
I love that snare, bro. Everyone hates that fucking album by Metallica, Saint Anger, but
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm not that familiar with Metallica. Like, guilty. I can feel the attack incoming.
No, like, me too. Like, it's...
Dude, the album that got me into death metal was definitely the Black Dahlia Murder, the Miasma album. Remember when I first heard that? Man, everyone was laughing because they would just see me just air drumming. And then, like I Like I was just moving like that, but I was just blast beating, dude. And I was like, that's what I want to play.
Yeah, and
That's
look
what
where
got
you are
me
now.
into that pride.
Yeah.
On top of the
Yeah.
many things that Arthur did, Arthur used to steal chicken nuggets from his teachers.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not only
Yeah.
are we
Story
learning
that
their
I'll never
story, these people are outing each other on the podcast. Like this is the juicy
Arthur also
information.
spills water while we're at it.
Hey,
Oh,
I was
dude.
that kid because I had a teacher in first grade. And
So
she offered if we got a question right, that she would give us a piece of a chicken tender. And you know me, I never got none of them questions right. So I was like, well, so I started thinking. I was like,
I'm gonna
hey,
get it anyways.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm hungry, you know. Eating is part of what we have to do to survive. My stomach's telling me he needs to survive.
hey, that sounds pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Wait, was it McDonald's?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Was it a spicy McChicken?
4.
Hell yeah!
4.
Wow.
Nice.
Wait, you know they have a bundle deal, right? It has like 4 of them and 4 large fries, or something like that.
Oh.
No, it's
Yeah.
16 of them, something like that. It's like a lot.
No,
of them.
it's 4 hot and spicy McChickens, 4 quarter pounders, and it's like 4 large fries and 4 large drinks.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think it was like $25.
That makes sense. That's actually a pretty decent price. But yeah, no, I just utilized the app and like I got 4 of them and maybe a large fry for $5. So I'm like,
Nice.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
Burger King's got them deals too, though.
Oh yeah, bro.
They really
Burger
do.
King nuggets are like so dummy cheap. You can
Burger
get
King
so
You know-
much.
you know,
for dangerous.
Some people like they did some, but hey, it
I
tastes
remember-
like barbecue burger, man. It tastes
I
like
Yeah,
barbecue burger,
the
bro.
Rodeo King.
I remember the first time I
Rodeo
went on
King
tour,
slaps.
Burger King was like, yeah, it was like in the outskirts of Lubbock, and Burger King was like, yeah, we don't got a dollar menu, and I was like, what's the whole
No
point?
dollar
Why am I
menu?
here? Yeah, they were like, yeah, we don't. I was like, can I get the double cheeseburger? They were like, you want a double Whopper? I was like, no, like the little double cheeseburger, the dollar menu one. The lady was like, I don't know what that is.
We don't
I
do
was like,
savings
what?
out here.
I was like, well, you better go in the back and make it.
Yeah, then
Bro, just
Jen-
get a
talk to-
Whopper,
talk to your boss,
Cut it in half.
With a cookie cutter.
Shameless plug for McDonald's,
Oh,
Yeah.
I
as,
know,
as
right?
well as Burger King. But kind of like back into the music portion of it. Let's see, like either Noel or Arthur, either one of you guys take it away from the very beginning. It seems like Sky for sure, like from the womb, from the very start. As far as I'm concerned, you were very, very much a music enthusiast. You did a whole bunch of stuff, and over time you just developed into a vocalist. I completely get that. Similar story going on right here. Mainly because I got so much going on in my life that I don't really want half the time to like be a bassist or a guitarist, but I plan to be a bassist. So either Noel or Arthur, you guys take it away. What got you into music from the very beginning? Dive into it as much as you want. Go.
Doing it
All right, I got it. Yeah, so
I saw that.
So with me, my folks, especially my pops, he's him and his brothers. I grew up around watching them playing music. You know, they were in tribute bands. You know, they used to do the whole Slayer thing. So I used to hear that growing up, and you know, I used to be that kid. I would just headbang, like I don't know what's going on, but I was just like, oh man, you know. And so, you know, I started going to some of their shows because they'll play like there's a little venue here called Bonds, and they've been playing there for a while, and I used to see them play at house shows. So just growing up watching that, you know, I was like, damn, you know, that's something that I want to do when I get older. And you know,
Turn that shit off, bro.
You're already in a call.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. My phone's usually dry, so I'm sorry about that.
But so just kind of like recollecting on what you've told me so far, your folks, your own uncle, father, I'm so sorry, did they were in like a tribute band and they were playing at venues, right?
Yeah, so they were playing a couple house shows, and my pops he's a drummer, and he would do vocals too, and I was like, I want to play drums because I was a hyper kid, you know, I was super hyper, and
So
you
much
know,
energy.
I just wanted to play something that I could just release all my energy. Oh my god!
Put that shit on
Just
silent.
silence your
Like,
phone, bro.
Give me a second, man. I'm sorry about that.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
No
But-
problem.
So, you know, I grew up watching them play that, and, you know, I used to just air drum and play on pillows. So, and I would hear these songs, and every time I'll be in class, dude, I was the type of student in class that either I was just thinking of just beats in my head or songs, or I'll just fall asleep. I was not singing class, and I was just thinking of like just different beats, and I was just like, and I would just air drum. People would just look at me all crazy, like, "What the hell is this kid doing?" Man? And I was just like, I was in my own little world, and I started playing in 2008. There's a drum set that my uncle had, and it was just there. It was just there collecting dust, and so they brought it over here, and then I just started messing around with it. I don't know what I was doing, but I started messing around, and
Nobody
I knew about
does it
YouTube,
first.
but
Like,
oh yeah, man, and I didn't know about YouTube that much. I got on it, but I wasn't like heavily into that. And then later on, I started going on YouTube, and I saw a bunch of other drummers, see what they would do, and so then I started learning on that, and then I found out about death metal, like I want to say like 4th grade, and I just remember hearing that fast, and I was like, "Fuck, bro! Like I don't know how these dudes doing it."
Do you
But
like hearing a Morbid Angel and like Deicide for the first time?
when I heard DSI, bro, I was just like, "Hey."
Yeah,
I was
dude,
scared.
same.
Yeah.
In the late,
Hey, guys,
closer to a world below used to freak me the fuck out.
There's a song from DSI that Sky told me about.
All Dead by Dawn.
And
Yeah.
Sky told me about remember the demon that was you told me there was
Yeah,
a
like
demon?
there's like background screams or whatever in Dead by Dawn by Deicide, the OG version. It's they did they didn't record that apparently. Like that was there after they recorded it.
So Sky told me about
I don't know
that.
the validity of that if that's true or not, but
Yeah, so Sky
So
told
we
me
got-
about that, and
Yo. No, you can continue. Sorry.
oh, you're good, you're good. What's the song?
Dead by Dawn.
So
It
look
goes
up,
Dead by Dawn,
so
Dead
look
by
up,
Dawn, and
yeah,
then in the background it goes. Wow,
yeah.
wow.
And Sky told me. I remember Sky telling me a long time ago. We're like 14, right? We're like 14. Sky told me about that, and I heard it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What is this?" But it was heavy, I liked it a lot. So
Like, you're telling me that there might be disembodied voices in metal, or did they just like not mean to capture that? You're kidding.
No,
it's
that's
crazy.
What the
man.
fuck?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, to look that song up.
Because the way that they used to record back then was like, I'm pretty sure you know this, but sometimes back then they used to use the mics that would go above vocalists, and there was a recording booth, so it captured a lot more. I don't know a lot about like audio recording, so I can't give you the specifics on it, but I know back then it was just difficult. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming bands in the 90s when they started, it was just picking up a bunch of background noise. I mean, for us, hidden secret, but for some of the songs, the vocal tracks actually have Guitar Hero in the background. It's just the gain is so low that you can't even hear it. But yeah, there's Guitar Hero playing in the background because like I don't use a recording booth vocally.
Yeah,
So-
we just like all like pile into my room, and like Guy starts tracking, and then we're just trying to be quiet, and Arthur just like starts like watching a video of balloon fight sounds from.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Or they'll be watching
look up-
Kill Bill or
look
something.
up, look up a game. I think it's called Balloon Fight. It's like back in the 80s. You're just gonna laugh the whole time because there's like these birds and they got balloons on them. You gotta pop them. You're like this little character, and you gotta fly and you gotta pop these balloons and like the whole time like. Beep, beep, beep,
This is
beep,
what he's
beep,
got
that
in his
sounds
head, by the way.
Like, let's look. If any of y'all wonder what's going on in my brain, just look up that game, hear the sound. Yeah, that's what's in my brain. Like I was speaking in the English language. It's just nee, and that translates to English.
This isn't product placement, but I actually have it on this. This is an RG351M. Shit's fucking fire.
Yeah.
And I'd play it, but yeah.
But so
I know we're time limited.
So the way we also got started too was me and Sky met freshman year of high school. This was back in 2012, and for a long time we were just talking about bands. It's like, oh, we like these bands, and we would share these bands. And we were actually gonna start. There's gonna be like Slipknot. There's gonna be like 9
Oh,
people in there.
I was gonna sing.
Yeah, he was Sky. They was gonna be the queen singer, and we had this guy named Alex, and he was gonna be the screamer, but something went down and we all separated, and we didn't start doing anything until about, I want to say, junior year.
Yeah, that was when we started our first band. It was ass.
And then after,
But we have kind of the same music upbringing, but Noel's is super interesting too, actually. So
It is.
yeah, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna check something really quick. But go ahead.
Oh yeah.
so then after that, me and Sky were just going we were back and forth, just trying to write something. And I told them,
Bro, let Noel talk.
I'm gonna go. My bad. I didn't speak.
Bro,
a
you're
lot.
good. I'm
I'm gonna go to Hollywood, and then Noel's gonna go to Hollywood. But then I told them, hey, well, let's start something. So that's when me and Sky were just like, okay, and we started playing just vocals and drums.
You don't even have a watch. Fuck are you telling
So me and Sky were we just started doing vocals and drums, and I told them I was like, well, let's start something, you know, and we were just covering songs like from the artist Murder and all that.
Yeah.
And we were doing things before that for a couple years, and then we saw Sock, and then Sock, you tell your story how you met us.
Well, go before meeting us.
Yeah, go before meeting us. My bad.
Yeah.
Sock was in another band. Sock actually had.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where do I start with? Do I just like say like what like got me into music? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. So like of course like everyone else in this band, Guitar Hero.
Oh, it died.
But it kind of like went beyond that. I was also super into. Oh, Ella. I was gonna say like besides Guitar Hero though, Tony Hawk was super formative in my music taste, and I just remember a lot of like skate punk and stuff just like super like appealed to me. You know, bands like 7 Seconds, Dead Kennedys.
Blank Brain.
Bad Brains, that works. I was actually bumping this morning. JFA. But like, yeah, I actually had wanted to be like a punk vocalist like for the longest time. When I was in like 3rd grade, I had this like little band called Black Friday. It was me and like 2 of my friends. We'd have these like songs writing out like recess and stuff. It was so just like childhood innocence and stuff. Like, you know, like eventually one of my friends from that band, like we started a different band, and it was called Dawn of the Beheaded, and it was like me and a bunch of my friends. We were like 13, 14.
Dawn of the Beheaded is MySpace deathcore. They're actually one of the bands that started the movement.
Really?
Which is great. Yeah, it's great. You can look them up. Their EP, like that. Noel started that band. Their EP blew up kind of big. I mean, you know, in my opinion, I think, you know, going at least past 5K is a decent number. You know.
Yeah.
It doesn't get to 5K until like 2 years after Desolate.
I remember.
Still though.
It doesn't
I remember getting 1K and just freaking out.
Yeah, same.
You know,
I remember getting 2Ks. Good. WWE 2K16.
I remember getting 2K9 on the 360.
I remember getting 2K3.
So I remember the first time we got like 200, 300 views. I was just like, holy shit.
Oh, on the
Yeah,
Black
You know, think about it. That's 300 people. I know most people say, oh, that's not a big number, but
Yeah,
like
it's
the
just,
way-
like,
the
the
way
feeling
we
of getting
should-
your music to someone just like hits like I don't know, like it's I felt the same way about like shows and stuff too, you know. Like whoever we're playing
Yeah,
to, like
I
be
agree.
it like, you know, like 1 person or like 1,000 person, we're still playing to someone. Like it just I want to give it my all.
Yeah.
And
I'm just happy to be there. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, coming from the perspective of a fellow creator who's like slowly developing, without a doubt. I'm not like making music or anything, but like I'm barely getting up to 80 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and like butterflies. Every
Right.
one subscriber, I'm just like butterflies. This is actually
Yeah,
working.
exactly.
It's
That
great.
feeling never changes.
and well, congrats to you. Congrats for the
Yeah.
80.
Yeah,
you're still
you
gonna
deserve
hit.
it.
You're still gonna get to that 1K, and you're gonna blow up. I believe you're gonna get to at least 100K soon.
Yeah, man, like
Yeah.
big love, and, like big like just. Thank you so much for letting us be here and stuff.
Yeah,
We're super honored.
for
This is
real.
super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. And like the whole point of this podcast, for one, is so I can get in personal touch with you guys and just be like, hey, what's up? What's your story? What's the story with your band? But also, when I establish my own band and like create my own stuff, which like I try not to mention this as much because I've said it here and there before. But basically, it's like when I become a band, it's like, hey, remember when you were on my podcast? Can I tour with you? Like,
Right?
Hell
basically.
yeah.
Yeah, we're always open to tour, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
If
The
that
irony of like that coming up after last night.
What got you into doing the podcast?
Well, I mean, basically, I do the same thing at shows. And, like, I don't have any social walls, per se. But I think that's what is going to make me a good businessman in the long run. So just imagine
totally.
any
Not
band, period, at any shows. Doesn't matter if I have VIP or any of that shit. Basically, I will walk up to these people and I'm like, hey, How'd you do that? How'd you do the and all the other stuff? And like, you know,
Yeah.
when I in 2018, for example, one of my favorite experiences. Period. Shout out to Darius Tirani, I think. Darius,
Yeah.
from Spite.
Spite.
So I met him, or like briefly met him at Rage Fest 2018. It was Attila, Reigns of Saturn, Suicide Silence, and like a couple other bands, including Spite. And basically, when I went up to the table, I was checking everything out. I was doing sign language because I briefly know sign language. So I was communicating with him in sign language, and I'm like, "Hey, really, really awesome. Love the show." I bowed to him, and I'm not even fucking kidding you, dude. This guy bowed to me in sync, just like, "Hey."
Wow.
I will
That's
say
amazing.
when I met Darius, we played. Actually, we were supposed to play with them in 2017, our old band, but we were gonna play this Body Snatcher show with them, and I remember I went to go to that show to see Kyle because we kind of built a decent relationship with Kyle, and that was like the beginnings of it. And I went to go see Kyle, and Darius was there, and that was my first time ever seeing Spite live.
Oh, is that when I was there?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I gave Kyle shirts.
Yeah.
He
That's
was so
actually
sweet.
that shows the reason why Kyle featured on our song "Fiendish Malice." On top of him being our friend, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Darius was super fucking sweet. Darius gave me a big ass hug, and it was just awesome. It was just a crazy experience. Like vocalists like that, and just people like that in general, are what give me hope. Because being in a band, I will say behind the scenes, playing with bigger bands, a lot of the times they shit and step on you, which kind of sucks.
It's really like disheartening.
Like,
honestly.
I don't want to name drop because that's
Yeah.
not my place, but we played with a band in 2017 and they shit on us real hard, and it was super disheartening because I had looked up to them since I was a child. And after that, it was just like, well, I don't ever want to be that. And then when you meet like very small people that you have interactions with that continue to blow up and they still act the same, like Kyle Medina, for example.
Yes. Very, very good.
Well, that's a
example.
prime example.
Mm.
It just gets me hyped for the future. Like I
Yeah.
love Kyle.
I just love like being able to like have like just a super close like relationship with the fans. Like it's not really like a fan base. It's more just like little friends that like we have. And it's super.
Yeah,
It
same.
is a brotherhood. Modern
Yeah,
counterculture
exactly.
is a brotherhood. It's a family. We stick out for each other. We back to back freaking like the Avengers moment in Age of Ultron when they're all just like fighting the robots in that little catacomb, and it's like 20 of them, and they're just like doing their thing, but they're in such syncrecy. They're in such unity, such a unit, like such a team, such an army, whatever. That they're just like, you know, they're just like freaking doing catapults over each other while one just like freaking shoots from where it's just like ha or whatever. But like, seriously, that's what this counterculture, that's what this music scene has always felt like to me. And that's the only reason that I've stayed. For example, like if by chance in the future I learn that half the bands that I've looked up to for such a long time, not even just singular musicians, like Frontman Syndrome, like fuck that. I'm talking about a whole band. If by finding out that a band that I've listened to for a very long time ends up being like just a whole bunch of shitty people, not even kidding, I would either make the decision to walk away from the scene entirely, or like you guys did, correct that example.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
we want to be able to change. You know.
Definitely. As far as correcting behaviors go, I consistently post on, like, I literally even said it before, like, don't listen to our fucking band if you support this, and this. Like, I don't fuck with a lot of stuff, bro. Like, racism and transphobia and homophobia, fuck that. Like, that shit
I agree.
pisses me off.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
agree.
the way I see it is everybody in the music scene, we all have a similar interest. We all have a similar love for the music that we love, you know.
We also like have like a duty too, you know, just like be an
Yeah,
example.
yeah, we are
And-
an example.
and-
yeah.
And
yeah, like
I see no difference, you know. Like it's just they love the music, the same music that we do. All we're doing is just we're creating something.
Yeah.
But we're offering kind of like a service for them to come and enjoy themselves, just like we're enjoying the energy that they bring to us. And you know, I think it should just be like that, because without the folks that come to the shows, we wouldn't have any ears to listen to us, you know.
exactly.
And there's a bunch of stories. Like every time I see a lot of heads at shows, I always think every single one of these people have some kind of story to their life.
Yeah.
Just like me, Sky, and Sock have a story to our lives. Same goes for them.
Exactly.
Even
Yeah.
with like, you know, like merch orders or like just like listens on like Spotify or something, it's all just so like surreal,
Mhm.
you know. or like even when
It's
people
just
are
very
just, like,
intimate, and I know, like,
Yeah.
with our fans, like, I know that I try to talk to as many people as I can. You know, I try to leave a message as many places as I can. You know, and I'm very, you know, people can call me. I know being political is difficult while being in a band, and you know, I don't want to seem like a sort of radical, but I'm gonna be Black Lives Matter till the day I die. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be.
It's just like a basic like thing, you know. It's like
I'm gonna
being
be
against
like,
it's just weird.
yeah, I'm gonna be legalize abortion to the day I die. You know, like it's like fuck the people that think that they own other people for a specific reason. We should just all be free and all love each other. That's truly it.
Because that's among other things. I've definitely become less of a patriot by the day, by the hour, by the minute these last couple of years, and
It's just really like disappointing.
yeah. Like we like to think that we've developed culture based off of freedom and rights, but we really haven't. So I'm completely with you guys on that. I am absolutely with you guys on that. BLM. I'm all about Pride Month. I just don't market it because, well, I'm straight as hell. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
So
kind
it's
of
just
vanilla, you know. Like
this band is definitely queer coded. I can be honest about that.
Yeah,
It's also just like I don't know, like I feel like I don't know, just like the thing about Pride Month is like with like all the corporations like changing their like logos to rainbows. There's also so many bands that are
facade.
doing it,
well, yeah,
and it's just there's these bands that you'll see and you just like you know these people and you're like they will instantly just like you know like start insulting people for being gay or for being trans,
literally, yeah, and that shit's upsetting.
or like people that make Black Lives Matter merch and like you know like kind of like the burial situation. And Travis was talking about how like they were racist or whatever, and then they were like making a Black Lives Matter shirt.
See, and that's why I was about to say, I feel like a lot of the times when it comes to, you know, the social movements that bands try to do, like I understand that we have a message to portray, but just, you know, like don't let the popularity that you get from releasing some sort of content get to your head, kind of thing, you know?
yeah.
Above all that, you're still
Yeah, definitely.
Just remember, we're all living the experience. One day, everyone's not gonna be here anymore.
Yeah, I feel like we have so many different things on our mind.
Arthur, you've done so many psychedelics, dude.
Yeah, like I was about to say that,
I'm
like
a
we shit. And it's just like to me, it set my mind apart. Like I'm sitting here trying to understand the function of reality, you know, trying to perceive the universe in a different direction.
Yeah.
And if people are battling about race, and it just baffles me. It's like, bro, like you're sitting here connected to these things that literally have no meaning for the future.
Boredom.
Like, yeah, and it's just like you could sit here and we could love each other and progress in a way that we clearly have not. And
Before.
we'll see where that goes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, this world has been filled with such hate for literally things when we all share the same blood.
You know, like,
Yeah.
it was never really gone. It was kind of like hidden.
Yeah.
It's just sad to see it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Mortal issues are for mortal minds. That's like the best way I can describe that. And people are just fighting over such temporary ideas that have maybe been established over about 200 years. This is the 21st century. We got a lot of room to grow, and there are plenty of people who are just absolutely. I call it blood washing, and it's something I'm planning on writing a song about this. It's not just brainwashing. But basically, blood washing, as I would define it, this basically means that this is brainwashing over generations. So this is cultural brainwashing over generations.
I like that idea, man.
That sounds hard.
That's a dope ass idea.
Kind of like you know, like how like American education is like, and the Pilgrims came over and they just showed the natives how to like you know cook things and like they made bread together.
Bullshit.
There was violence at
Like,
shit like that.
Like, fuck all the lies, man. I'm so down with that. And, like, the funny thing is, I remember the first year or two that I kind of graduated from high school, literally everybody was talking about one thing.
How fucking wrong the history books were.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, we
Facade.
want to make shirts like calling shit out like that, just little one-offs like "fuck the DMCA" type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to make shirts like that, like supporting Pirate Bay.
Yeah, we're
just,
gonna have a
just little like random things.
just a little like I guess like leak or whatever. We're gonna have a merch shirt that's it's like a Pirate Bay rip, and on the back it says "fuck the DMCA," but like the logo is like the Pirate Bay.
But
like,
wait, that's mainly a jab, just because like a lot of content creators get hit when they speak the truth.
like Dragon Force dude with Herman
Yeah.
Fucking banned from Twitch for playing his own song.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
Herman Lee was banned for Twitch from playing Through the Fire and Flames.
Wow.
And see,
Wow.
It's like
in that situation, if it wasn't for like YouTube and Twitch even being the only platforms, I would say fuck them all, and I would hop off of them, because for one, like artists have emphasized it plenty before.
yeah.
Like there are so many things
Not
that
so
don't
very
need to
true.
be there. Like so many
They stopped
walls.
catering. They stopped catering to artists. That's the
It's-
issue.
Yeah, it really is.
Like for as long as I can remember too, like even in the 80s, a lot of artists were coming forward, like Bow Wow Wow, Dead Kennedys too. Like during the whole home taping is killing like the music industry thing. I remember a lot of bands and artists were just they would do this thing where they'd release a tape with like music on one side and they'd leave like another side, but, like, no, it's so cool. And say like the Dead Kennedys one, for example, said home taping is killing record industry profits. We left the site blank so you can help. And it's just, I don't know, little shit like that was just super cool to me.
Yeah.
Super
That's
like
true rebellion. That's true rebellious. That's true counterculture. That really is. And now, like,
Yeah,
we live
like
in an
releasing
era.
thing.
Right. No. Yeah. Like we live in an era to where like you can make pretty good money off of being a rock star or like even a deathcore vocalist. But the thing is, that comes with a price, and that price is the wall.
Yeah.
That price is the deprivation of actual, just like blatant honesty. You're not
exactly.
able to be honest anymore. And not only because like certain people that are, paying you to be a well-funded musician, not only are they like being controlled on puppet strings, which I love that this is where this episode is going. Like this is the shit I
Yeah, me
live
too.
for. Like to say the least, we live in an age for musicians and creators to where sure you can be paid decently, but at the price of a wall, at the price of a culture wall, and at the price of sewed lips. Even if you are a vocalist, behind the scenes, the higher you get, for example, Columbia Records, which I briefly mentioned this with David Simonich in one of my previous episodes, in which I emphasize Columbia Records. I don't really mean Rise Records. I don't really mean Stay Sick Records, because I don't really know about any of those other bands. But you better bet your ass that the record label that Bring Me the Horizon is on, AC/DC is on, Ariana Grande is on, they all have their lips sealed. And if they don't, that's because they are doing what they're supposed to. I look like fucking Trump. I'm so sorry. They look like they're free, but I have a feeling that they're still being constricted at the price of being close to millionaire
definitely.
musicians.
Of
It's
course.
fucking
That's-
stupid.
I feel like that's like
Yeah.
a big reason why we as a band just look up to Kawanashi so much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the
Sure.
history behind Kanashi, but
Kawanashi did a diss for Alternative Press because Alternative Press was trying to feature them in a magazine thing when Kawanashi hit them up for press prior, and they didn't want Kawanashi on there. But when the Black Lives Matter movement was up, they were like, "Oh, here's 25 black bands," so that's why Kawanashi was like, "Fuck Alternative Press."
Yeah, if you haven't heard it, it's titled "Look Like Me."
It's
super
amazing.
fucking cool. It's
It's
one of
so
the
good.
angriest songs I've heard.
Yes.
It's so good.
Dear
Peter's
Lemon
vocals.
House, their newest album, Dear Lemon House, is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like, if you haven't already
Definitely
listened
one
to
of
Dear
my
Lemon
albums of
House,
the year.
please listen to it. But
I'll write
Look
it
Like
down.
Me, the single Look Like Me was just to me, I feel like that was a game changer on how
Yeah.
I viewed politics as a band. That's why
Totally.
I was like, that's why I personally say, I always say, like, I could literally live without and I understand it's difficult as an up and coming
oh, cut out again.
band to say this. I get it. But I would much rather have 20 people that are genuine fucking human beings. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. I would rather have 20 people that are genuine human beings than to have 500 fucking pedophiles, rapists, and abusers at my shows that are closeted doing that.
Yeah,
Like, I would
we don't want
much
to make
rather
it like
have
a
that.
safe space, you know?
Yeah,
we don't
like,
want them
no,
to feel
like,
like welcome here. Like we want
fuck
them to feel
that.
fucking like afraid to just like be in the same vicinity. as
Literally,
people, you know?
like
It's
I consistently say this. Like, if people feel threatened, if people feel worried, and I'm at a show and they feel that type of way, I always say, come up to me, tell me
Yeah.
how you feel. And I will literally get that person kicked the fuck out. Like, I don't play around. Fuck that shit.
yeah,
Yeah. And
there's too much tolerance for that
hands-
shit.
Yeah.
Hands
hands down. I don't care, like, because this is on me. This is what I'm gonna say. So if anybody has an issue with it, they can talk to me. On this podcast, in any of anything that I ever create, including the Anatomy Podcast, which features amazing people like this. We do not support Nazis on here. We do not support racists. We do not support transphobics. We do not support homophobics. Fuck Pizzagate. And fuck everything else that has anything to do with anything relatively close to that. Anybody who's
While
wrong with that?
we're at it, can I just say fuck Sam Hyde?
Oh, I don't know anything about that, but
He's just
and if there's any people that are watching this that identify with any of that, click off the fucking video.
click off.
Yeah.
We don't want you here.
Go to fucking Reddit or some
bro,
shit.
I will, and that's just me being genuine about it, bro. Like I don't mean, I would rather have people feel safe at my shows.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's
the
just truth be
whole
told.
point. That's the whole point
Literally.
of music. It's an outlet. And
Exactly.
half the fucking time since the beginning, people like they do whatever they want to do. They like coat their at first, like with punk and metal and emo and stuff like that, it was, just like the black nails and the eye polish and all the other stuff. Eye polish. Oops. Eyeliner.
Everyone to put nail polish.
Seriously. But no, like, music is an outlet of safety. It's an outlet of comfort. Once that doesn't become that, that's when the issue. That's where it becomes an issue. Now, like, I don't gatekeep. I don't gatekeep at all. So, by all means, everybody who, like, I don't know, might have that idea when I say that, fuck off. Like, I'm not a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I'm not. But, like, once music becomes anything less than comfort, that's when it becomes an issue. When it actually legitimately instigates, represents, endorses, and promotes hate, that's when it's not music. That's when the people making it are scumbags. And that's when, like, obviously it's going to exist. But that doesn't mean it's going to be endorsed. So, with that in mind, very, very passionate conversation, and I appreciate you guys talking about that. We're going to move into Desolate Blight itself. This is the culmination of these three individuals. So, right off the bat, this is the question I ask every time, because this is always something in my brain. Where did the name Desolate Blight come from?
No.
Okay, so we're always get this question to the day we die. So I mean, we can come up with many different stories, but it all leads back to the same thing. Just Noel and I laying in bed at our friend's house.
I was freaking the fuck out because I didn't have like my meds, and like I was like, I like just started taking antidepressants or like stronger ones, and I was like, bro, I think I have to go home. I'm gonna die. And Scott was like, no, you're fine. Just calm down. You're like, nah, bro, I'm gonna die. I walked into the kitchen, ate like a banana raw, like with the peel on it. Sky was just looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, I'm gonna
feeling
die,
it,
bro.
homie. I'm feeling it. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I'm not peeling the banana if I feel like I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna eat it whole.
Exactly. It's like you're like, fuck it, bro.
Basically, at one point, like, we just ended up laying down in a bed and having like a whole conversation about our future. And we had a different band name. Desolate Blight was actually named Mushinke when we first started. No relation to anything Japanese, but we just like, I'm a weeb, bro. I have a lot of anime tattoos. I have a lot of them. So
I am too.
so we ended up.
There's like a lot of Japanese like culture, like influence
I got a
in
bunch
terms
of-
of like music. Like
We've actually been popping in Japan lately, which is crazy. Shout out Japan.
I want to give a shout out to like Grasshopper Manufacturer, No More Heroes and stuff for just being like a huge influence on us too.
Yeah, we have. I've watched too much anime, but so we ended up. We were brainstorming ideas, and I'm not entirely too sure where I got the idea of Desolate Blight, but I just remember tossing it to Noel, and Noel was just like, "That's it, that's it." So it worked. I mean, I know that you could say it was from Destiny, the game, but I don't want to say it is because it's not entirely from Destiny, the game.
Right.
Blight for sure. I got the word blight from Destiny, like no doubt. But I don't want to say Desolate. I did. So it just ended up working out.
The funniest thing about the name is so many people have pronounced it wrong.
Yeah,
It's it wrong
the Desolate
all
Blight,
the time.
Desolated Blight.
They call us Desolate.
I had an
Desolate.
old friend of mine.
Desolate Bright. Desolate Sprite.
I had a
Oh
old
no.
friend called Dissident Bright.
Oh boy.
I guess it's her new name.
But yeah, overall like that. It was just us tossing ideas, and it ended up working. It ended up fitting. We released our first single under Desolate Blight.
Right.
I remember we created the page like 2 days after. It's just a funny story to us because it wasn't like ever really serious, and now the band is becoming incredibly serious.
Yeah.
It's nice too, though. It's like it doesn't feel like overly serious. Like, you know, like the weird like professional where it's like, hey man, nice show, and you're like, thanks.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll never be like that.
But
We play too much.
We're all silly guys.
I guess my question to replace that first one would be, as you guys have developed and you released an album this last October, seemed to be a pretty fun powerhouse of various subgenres, including what I would dare compare to Croesus and Rings of Saturn, except better. I mean, I love Croesus. Rings of Saturn, we're gonna push over there for a little bit.
Yeah,
Right.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Honest, but it like you guys have established a decent discography at this point. Have you developed
thank you.
a story? Have you developed a meaning behind the name?
Oh
Desolate Blight?
yeah.
Especially your
So
song,
it was ironic because Desolate Blight, like where they both derive from, like both of those words, it's basically like a sickness that
Just like emptiness.
yeah,
you know?
it's an emptiness and a sickness, and that's pretty much. I mean, Noel and I have dealt with depression for a very long time, being clinically diagnosed with it.
Like you think about those two words, desolate and blight, and you think about like a desolate like town, like a ghost town, empty places, just kind of barren.
And a blight as a sickness, so
Yeah.
it's pretty much like a sickness that we bear on our own, pretty much.
But it's like our music just kind of like feels so
like
just contrasts in a way.
yeah.
Like it's sad and it's heavy, but it's also just like
So like our first album. So I don't really write conceptual artwork, but
Right.
I will say that our first album does tell a story, and so does our second album. You can perceive it in any way, of course, but it.
I feel like the second album was kind of just like the first album was like like a legit story. Second one was kind of just like a diary of a journey.
Yeah, pretty much. The first album, I tried to speak about how, I mean, because I was just obsessed with the idea, but I beautified suicide in multiple of the songs. I tried to make the idea of death sound beautiful to me. So it was like we encapsulated it in what we figured was a dreamscape of a sound, and that's why we titled our genre Dreamcore, was because that's how we felt about it. We felt like it was just something that we felt like a connection in our dreams. And then Nostalgic Dread is, I mean, as far as the name goes, it's a feeling that we feel that it goes back to our childhood, but it's dreadful. We dread feeling those feelings.
It's also just like being hooked on like not to like reference South Park, but the memory berries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like like being like hooked on like a better time where like things just seem so much more simple.
Yeah, literally, like a couple of the songs on Nostalgic, yes, can be considered breakup songs, but a lot of them also have like personal ties to how I've dealt with things, how Sock's dealt with things, and how Evander's dealt with things. Like especially like Ego Death, I know for one we could all relate to that song. And then Happy Colored Pills, I wrote that when I was in the hospital. That song has like literally like right in the beginning, it's like right from the beginning to the end. If you read the lyrics for Happy Colored Pills, it's like it's literally the perspective I had in my addiction to drugs at the time. I'm 1 year sober, by the way. But yeah.
Congratulations on that.
So it Nostalgic, definitely helped us define how we felt towards our sound. But I feel like as far as the future stuff goes, it's going to be a little different.
I feel like nostalgia is like a stepping stone to where we want to be.
Yes.
I feel like like we kind of held back with Lucid. Like
Yeah. Well, it's because Lucid was pushed. So that was why Lucid. We were going to get signed, and they fell through with signing us, and it was.
They wanted us to be like heavier too.
Yeah.
Like something like we weren't about.
We weren't. They wanted us to be black and deathcore, and that wasn't us. So.
Right.
And going back on Lucid too, I feel like with the whole idea like romanticizing death, I feel like that's why Descent and then like the title track Lucid Connection have like similar notes. I guess like similar notes in the intro, but like in Lucid it's a bit more like I guess diminished. I'm so bad at like music theory and stuff. I took it, I failed it.
Ironically, they record us.
I feel like
I failed Spanish like 6 times.
So if you ask me, I feel like Lucid's more angry and Nostalgic is more emotional.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good correlation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
LP3 is gonna be just
lyrics.
more like I don't know, like so far like what we have is like not to like like spoil anything, like so far it's just kind of like seeming like acceptance in a way. Would you say it's kind of
Yeah,
like that? Just, like,
yeah,
being,
especially
like-
because like the album title. I mean, I feel like an interview would probably be the best time to leave
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But
I guess.
definitely,
So the album title, this is in the works for now. We have it titled Past Life Regression Sessions. That's our album 3. Again, things can change. Well, we're seeing where it goes, but as far as like the idea that we have for it right now, like it's literally pretty much like healing. It's like Lucid was connected to our dreams and feeling very angry at the world, and Nostalgic was emotionally ripping myself apart, I guess.
Right.
The best way I can describe it is Lucid is pretty much anger all built up. Nostalgic is a mixture of anger and then whatever you go through, and it just sorrow just comes in. And I hope the third album, when you hear it, it's kind of like you're releasing all that.
It's
Yeah.
like it's coming like less of a burden to you, and it's
And-
more of just like a weight off your shoulder.
And definitely with Nostalgic, not only from the lyrics, but when you hear the instrumentals too, it just sounds very emotional, And
We ironically ended up becoming post-deathcore, which crazily enough, there actually isn't any other post-deathcore bands that are solidified in the genre. I don't want to sit here and act like we're post-deathcore.
I feel like
we're
there are some.
experimental.
Oh yeah, Kardashev. How did I forget
But
Kardashev.
there hasn't.
that? Kardashev is dope.
It's another AZ
Very-
local. I love Kardashev.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
really? That's dope.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, yeah, we fucking love Kardashev. Or I love Kardashev.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. But
Oh,
that's
they're
awesome.
oh my god, they're so good. Like
Yeah, you'd really fuck with them.
the last song I listened to, I would bet dreamy, just ethereal, very very REM. That's a cool thing. REM metal, like
Yeah.
REM
Yeah.
induced deathcore, I guess. But no, like Apocalypse Pony is another AZ local band. They had Mark Garrett of Kardashev feature on their song at one of the venues I go to a lot. So I love Kardashev. He's Mark Garrett and his guys have a pretty close place in my heart. I haven't listened to most of their music though. Guilty. I will admit that, but I need to. But that's
I've been
pretty
just
cool.
recently.
That's
They're
really
super fun.
But
yeah.
yeah, just for going on in the future, we have a lot of things in the works aside from LP3.
Like
Yeah.
the Black Metal EP.
Yeah.
It's a 2-song EP, but
Yeah, we're about to probably release a black metal EP after our Texas tour.
like solid.
If you want to start talking about that Texas tour that we're doing, it's in a week from now.
Just real
Okay.
quick, before I go back, I want to give a shout out to Lowe's because I've listened to that band a lot.
Oh, Load
Dude.
helped.
Low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love their discography.
They make really solid stuff. I get why you would find inspiration and find admiration from that band. That's a really solid band in that more ethereal, atmospheric, but also like heavy.
Our
slapping
one page,
music.
our EPK actually has Loathe and Kawanashi.
Listed as
Both,
Oh.
yeah,
Okay.
because there's some songs. What's up, Vic?
Hey man, how's it going?
There's some. Yeah, we're doing an interview right now, but Arthur's brother.
Yeah, that's my bro.
Bye.
Chill.
But yeah, we ended up. We have on our one sheet, it's like different bands that we're related to, and
Same,
it's
bro.
just on Nostalgic. I feel like is where we really focus on different soundscapes.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for the future.
Lately, we've been really listening to a lot more post-hardcore and mathcore,
Yeah.
like earlier post-hardcore, like at the drive-in.
Yeah.
I've also been really into a lot of anime and Gucci, and I think I've been kind of wanting to add more chiptune aspects to our music, which I feel like it'd be different.
Oh
Since we're all huge video game fans, and 8-bit just had some special place in my heart.
yes, bro.
I feel like it just really worked out.
Fucking got a message.
I mean, plus we did the 8-bit version of the Sword of Light.
I got a message, and I got a message for all the folks and all the beautiful people that like our music.
Beautiful people.
Y'all-
Beautiful people.
Hey, look, all the beautiful. Hey, Marilyn Manson wasn't wrong. There's a lot of beautiful people. If y'all come to the show, I'm a token. What is Tom Petty? Is that Tom Petty?
That's not Tom Petty.
Okay.
Where the fuck?
I'm sorry.
No, Arthur, I have to go off.
Okay.
Don't worry, cut out for a second.
I'm a token.
Steve.
make me laugh.
It's
I was
Steve.
Here, I have the perfect sound for that, by the way. I'm gonna let them talk, but I'm gonna play real quick.
Steve Wilkos band.
Yeah, what he said.
Are y'all talking about Stone
like,
Temple Pilots?
like,
No, we're talking about those like some people coming in space cowboy.
If any of y'all Tokyo, come Tokyo with us. You know what I mean? Rolling up.
I raw dog life.
I do not
Tokyo
associate with marijuana. I have never smoked weed in my life.
I 100% raw dog life.
I've never smoked weed. I am not stoned right now, and that is not why I'm lying.
Like Desolate Blight. If we don't get high off weed, we get high off conversation.
Look, this is what I meant
Man,
to say.
your ass gets high off mushrooms and
this
shit.
is what I,
You're like, I'm a fun
look, hold
guy.
up. This is what I meant to say to Arthur. This is from Mortal Kombat, by the way. It's from Mortal Kombat 3. Do you hear it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't make
Here, I'll
me
play it again.
laugh.
That's Shao
Don't
Kahn.
make
I can't
me
show you right
laugh.
now, but I got a Mortal Kombat tattoo
Shout out my
right here.
girlfriend. She bought me this.
I got the dragon right here. Shout out to Jessica. She's sitting over there.
Shout out my girlfriend. She's cool.
Shout out.
but yeah, so going off of our Texas tour, I know that we have a couple other things that I know we're probably running out of time
I'm so
soon.
sorry.
So our Texas tour, it was self-booked. We haven't played a couple of these venues in a while, like Houston.
Some were definitely first timers.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't
at
played
least.
Corpus in a while, or San Antonio. You know, it's all because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And our friends in the
That's
worst case
checking
scenario
out.
were already booking some stuff.
Yeah.
So they wanted us on the Lubbock show, and then they were just like, "Well, fuck it. Do you want to help me book the rest of the tour?" And I was like, "Yep." So we're doing that in a week. I'm pretty stoked about it. It's their first tour. I've already been on tour before, so it's gonna be a good experience to experience with them because I've never been on tour with them.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and then
It's gonna be crazy.
after that, in August, we'll be doing I believe 15 or 17 day run, something around the medium of that, with Crafting the Conspiracy.
Right.
We'll be going to California and shit, playing with a bunch of really dope bands. I'm excited to see Nailed Down. I know that they're one of the bands we're playing with. Shout out Nailed Down. And I'm just super stoked to be hitting dates. I think we have an Arizona date, so you better come out. I don't know if it's a far drive, but
We'll
I
see.
think we have it's a temp Arizona. I don't know if that's
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
like down the street
That-
from me, my guy.
I don't have my
Fuck
lanyard.
yeah.
I don't have my lanyard, but yeah.
So we can send you
Come
the
through,
flyer.
and if you do vocals, you can hop on stage for our song "Relinquished Opportunity." So
Shout out.
check out the song. So that song is featuring Evan Van Dyne. They're our homie. They're amazing. I love them to death.
Resuscitate's super cool.
Yeah,
If you fuck with
Resuscitate's
Borderlands,
amazing.
It's Borderlands themed deathcore.
Please, like, you have no idea.
Yeah, Borderlands
yeah.
is like my shit. I fuck with it
You have
heavy.
no
Yeah.
idea. Evan put so much work into their sound, and they released an album that was an hour and a half.
It's 2 hours long.
Of 2 hours? Wait,
Yeah.
the
Dude.
Children of the Vault?
Yeah.
2 hours?
Yeah, it's like 2 hours long. I think
Well,
so.
there you go. 2 hours long. I don't know where I got an hour and a half of music.
I might be wrong.
But I know it's from the hour and a half to 2 hour mark, and it's beautiful. It is phenomenal. That album is amazing. It's the combination of all of their hard work, and I'm just so happy for them because it blew up a little bit, and it's still going up, and I'm super hyped.
Hell yeah.
But they featured they actually mixed our album and they mastered our album, and they featured on the song "Relinquished Opportunity," and that is we're playing that song on tour, and we're offering their guest part for anybody that wants to hop on stage. So you can always hop on stage for that Temp Arizona day.
Shout out to Evan.
They're a huge
The album amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
They produced the
Hell
album.
yeah! No, I'll definitely look into that opportunity. I actually work down in Tempe for the secondary job, like picking up bird scooters and stuff. So I'm constantly right down the street from if it's the marquee that you're playing at with.
I
think it
think so.
I know
Yeah.
my shit then. I know my shit. But yeah, no,
Nice.
I'm working around there constantly, so that's most likely going to be a thing. Last question I would have for you, before we go ahead and just like zoom into infinity, would be it's close to, like, you mentioned before that you were wanting to do like a 9-person band. Would that be
Yes.
a thing that you would do in the future if you have the
No.
opportunity? No?
Nope.
No, we're 3-piece from here on out. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna say right now, if the crowd wants to hop on stage and they want to join, that's when we'll be a 9-piece.
Yeah. That's
Right.
definitely as far because I mean we have people that want to do guest instruments like live. The bassist for I believe Soothsayer, if I'm not mistaken, they're
Yeah.
from Lubbock. They're gonna hop on stage and do. They want to do the whole set with us during our Dallas date in August. So that's entirely up to them. I mean, I'm all for it, but as far as our lineup goes, this is our strongest lineup, the most comfortable we've been as a band. We get along the best.
This feels like a solid like family.
We're-
Like,
yeah.
there's, like literally like no like awkwardness or anything.
None. I mean, we get on each other's nerves occasionally, but I mean, it's never.
It's all love.
Yeah, literally. Like
That's
I can,
gonna happen.
I can yell at them. I can yell at them, and they know that it's not with a malicious intent. They can yell at me, and I will know it's not with a malicious intent.
Gary.
Gary. Yeah, no. That's really cool
And-
though.
And sometimes we go back and
And again,
You are gonna-
or the most funniest, dumbest thing.
yeah, like literally,
We
if
look at it after, and we're just like,
We-
like can't believe that happened.
we roast each other like fucking crazy. It's ridiculous. You have no idea. But yeah, like as far as our lineup goes, this is just the strongest it's ever been, and
I
we
roasted
just-
them bad.
we just don't want
They
to change
roasted
it.
me bad. I roasted.
There
I'm
you
the
have
roast
it.
god.
There you
Yeah.
have it.
I'm
So-
the Steve.
Ladies and gentlemen, all of my participants in any of my creative mediums, this was a strong episode 8 of the Anatomy Podcasted, or Anatomy Podcast, not podcasted, not past tense. We're still in the moment, but featuring the lineup of Desolate Blight with Sky, with Arthur, with Noel, all really good people. We talked about a lot of fun stuff today, promoted and endorsed a lot of amazing things. It is still Pride Month, so be sure to endorse and support all of your queer businesses, or like all of your LGBTQ plus businesses, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And we will be seeing you guys either tomorrow or next weekend. I still have yet to get that figured out, but otherwise, have a great day, guys.
I appreciate it. You
Appreciate
too, my
having you
man.
on, man.
I'll see everybody in August, hopefully, especially locals to temp. Please come out to our August date. Again, we'll be on tour with Crafting the Conspiracy
Yes.
from August 12th through the 29th. So come the fuck through, because it is
Come
going to
the
be a
fuck
blast.
through. I'm probably
Feel
gonna be
like
there
you're-
too. If y'all in AZ want to see me growl and not growl shirtless with a muted mic, go to that show. We'll see you there. Otherwise, have a great night.
Appreciate it,
Love
guys.
you.
Y'all be
Love
safe.
y'all.
They'll be sick.